Morning, guys. So here's my video lesson on wave theory. I'm not going to dive into the nitty-bitty gritty parts of it, but I am going to show you guys how I use it practically in my trading, because wave theory alone cannot be used in trading. It needs to be supplemented with some sort of different type of analysis. It gives me a blueprint to the bigger picture, and it gives me the idea of being on the right side of the trend. So basically, here are some basic rules in wave theory. Let me show you what the structure is first. So a basic structure in a bullish market is a 5-wave up move, which basically looks like this. Here, wave 1, here, wave 2. You got your, typically wave 3 is going to be your longest wave and most explosive wave, followed by a wave 4, and then you get your final wave 5. So this is just a basic 5-wave up move in a bull market. Let me label this bull market. And from there, you have your corrective move, which is a 3-wave move down most of the time. A, B, C. Okay, so knowing this information, we have some rules that we do have to follow, which I wrote right here. A couple of rules. Wave 2 cannot retrace more than 100% of wave 1. So wave 2 can retrace up to 100%, but it cannot go past here. So it cannot go past the origin of wave 1. So again, it can retrace 100% of the way, but it cannot go past it, otherwise that invalidates the impulse. So basically, wave theory is broken down into 2 kinds of waves. You have your motive waves, and then you have your corrective waves. Right? So I'm going to label corrective waves as C, and I'm going to label motive waves as M or I, because same thing, motive or impulse. Motive waves move in the direction of the dominant trend, and then corrective waves correct the direction of the dominant trend. So here you have your impulse. Let me put this in black. So here you have an impulse move. And you have a corrective move, right? Because you have your wave 1 move up, and then you have your corrective wave 2. Corrective, then you have another motive wave up, you have another impulsive wave up for the powerful wave 3 up, and then you have your corrective wave 4. And then you have your next motive wave up. And after you get a 5-wave move up, you typically get a 3-wave move down, which is in the form of an ABC. So this is basically called a 5-3-5. What this means is you have your 5 waves up, and then you have your 3 waves back down, which would be your ABC correction here. One second. So 5 waves up, and then you get your A, B, C. So what this means is, let me delete these. One second. Okay, so this is sort of the big picture or the structure of wave theory. You get your motive waves up, and then you get your corrective cycle down. Now, the thing is that everything is a fractal of another fractal of more fractals. So these 5 waves up comprise of a larger degree, wave 1 move up, which I'll put in brackets. There's a certain way to label it, but I tend to just do whichever labeling I can follow easier. But this is a wave 1 of 1 degree higher, just so you guys can understand. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave moves up, comprised of a wave 1 of a degree higher. So then what happens is you have a correction that'll basically correct this move from wave 1 to 5. So we're going to be correcting this entire move right here, which is what this ABC is. Then you get your ABC move down, which is a correction of the largest degree, which should be labeled like this, of 1 larger degree, because this corrective wave is correcting these 5 waves up. So you get your larger degree 1, and you get your wave 2 pullback. But the thing with this correction is that this, what I just drew right here, this is called an impulsive wave structure. And again, as per my rules, wave 2 cannot retrace more than 100% of wave 1. So that means that this wave 2 can come all the way down to here, and still be valid, because it did not retrace more than 100% of the beginning of wave 1. So then from there, you get your, so knowing this information, you have your wave 2, and then you get your explosive wave 3 up. So this is basically just the foundational principles right here. Like in terms of wave theory, there are different rules in terms of corrections and whatnot, but this is sort of what moves the market. So what happens is these fractals come together to form a larger picture, which I will show on the chart below for Grub. Let me go to a weekly chart. All right, so here's just a big picture of Grub, okay? I'll break it down for you guys and whatnot, but the rules are that wave 2 can't retrace more than 100% of wave 1. Wave 3 cannot be the shortest wave, but it is not necessarily always the longest wave. So here are the basic rules. Wave 2 can't retrace more than 100% of wave 1. Wave 3 cannot be the shortest wave, but it is not necessarily always the longest wave. When wave 3 is not the longest wave, that means that wave 1 has to be the shortest wave. And then the other rule is that wave 4 cannot enter the price territory of wave 1. So here you can see that wave 4 does not enter the price territory of wave 1. What this means is that this would be an invalid count. If you had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not a valid count because wave 1 intersects with wave 4 right here. So this would be an invalid count. The only exception to this rule is if you have a diagonal, which is a fancy word for calling it a wedge. So these are the only exceptions, okay? The only exception is if you have a diagonal, which is basically a wedge, and then you have your wave 1, 2, and same rule applies with diagonal. Wave 3 cannot be the shortest wave, so you get your wave 3, and then you get your wave 4, and then your wave 5. So let me fix this real quick. Okay, so as you can see, in a diagonal, wave 4 does in fact cross the territory of wave 1, because that is a rule. In a diagonal, wave 1 and 4 must intersect wave 3 can't be the shortest. So as you can see here, you get your wave 1, wave 2, and then you get your wave 3 move, which cannot be the shortest wave, and then you get your wave 4 move, but wave 4 does cross the territory of wave 1, and then you get your wave 5. And then from here you would get the same thing. You would get your ABC pullback, but sorry, excuse me. You get your ABC pullback, but remember, the pullback can go 100% the length of wave 1, but it cannot go past it. So the pullback can go all the way down to here, but it cannot go past the origin of wave 1. So you get your wave 2 pullback, and then you get your wave 1 of the larger degree, and then you get your pullback, the ABC pullback for wave 2. So this is the only exception for when wave 4 can enter the price territory of wave 1, because that is a roll with diagonals. And you're going to actually see that here with the impulsive bull market with GrubHub, starting with right here. Real quick, this is a weekly chart, so here's the structure, but I'm just going to draw it just so you can see it. You get your wave 1, wave 2, and then you get your wave 3, and for this case, as you can see, wave 3 is in fact not the longest wave, but it is not the shortest wave. You get your wave 3, you get your flag, your roll flag, and then you get your wave 5 up. So, knowing what I just said, this is a 5-wave completed structure, right? Because I just labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, this is one exception here, where wave 3 is not the longest wave, but it is not the shortest wave, because wave 1 is in fact the shortest wave. Wave 1 was only 10 points, and wave 3 was 23 points. So as you can see, wave 3 is not the longest wave, but it is in fact the second longest wave. And then you get your wave 5, which in this case was 120 points. So your wave 5 was the longest wave here. So knowing what I just said, we have a completed 5-wave move. Look at what is going on with Grub. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're getting our ABC retracement. A, B, C. I'll break down corrective waves for you guys later. But basically, this Grub move is going to be valid as long as this pivot low, so the origin of wave 1, as long as this low can hold. This will be the invalidation point for Grub bull markets. So the Grub retracement can go 100%. So it can go down to 1778 if it really wants to. It can come all the way down here. And at this point, this is still a valid impulse. So in theory, if that low holds, we will see Grub reverse soon. So you'll be A, B, C, and then we go all the way up here. But anyways, let me break it down for you guys. So on my label here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So knowing what I just explained to you guys a couple minutes ago, this 5-wave move up here, what am I doing here? Blue. So this 5-wave move up here comprised of a wave 1 of a larger degree. Because remember, 5 waves up is a fractal of a degree larger. So wave 1 of a larger degree in red, just so we can see it. So this structure here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comprised of a wave 1 of a large degree. And if the 1777 low holds, we're going to be looking at a wave 2 of a larger degree. I'm going to break down the corrective waves, but I'm just trying to show you guys the big picture. and how I do my counts. So assuming the grub does make a lower or make a higher low above 1777, we can assume that it's going to reverse here, and then it's going to go to new highs. So knowing that, I'm going to start with the beginning just so I can break down the levels for you. So going back from the lowest low, I'm in the picture, okay? So sorry, let me go back to a weekly chart. So because we're looking for an impulsive move, okay? So an impulse is a clear, defined move that basically defines the trend. So this is the low that we are counting at. From the 1777 low, it made a strong reversal, made a move to new highs to 150, and then turned. So we are going to be counting from the 1777 low. So I'm going to break it down with you guys and then show you how I start my counts, because if you are doing a macro count, you do need to start with the big picture. So here is a clear leading diagonal. This is a leading diagonal because it is leading an impulsive move. I showed you guys above what a diagonal consists of and how wave 1 and wave 4 intersect. But leading diagonals typically start a new trend. That's why they call them leading diagonals. And then ending diagonals typically start a new trend, but they are typically reversals, so they are your rising wedges. But in terms of diagonals, which are wedges or expanding wedges, they all have the same rules. So here, I know you guys see me play this pattern out a lot because they are pretty easy to read. But here you have a clear wave 1, wave 2, and then you get your wave 3 up here, wave 4, and then your wave 5. Let me type them out so you guys can see the waves. Wave 1, wave 2, in blue because you can see it. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. So again, remember, after 5 waves, you get a completed 5-wave move of a degree higher. So with this diagonal, this comes together to form subwave 1, because everything is a subwave of a subwave of another subwave. So let me put this in blue. So this 5-wave pattern here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comes together to form a wave 1 of a larger degree. And look at the rules that apply with a diagonal. You have your wave 1, you have your wave 1 high here, and then you have your wave 1, wave 2, and then you have your wave 3, which is not the shortest wave, obviously. Wave 3, and then you have your wave 4 pullback. But look, wave 4 intersects with the high of wave 1, which is a crucial rule for diagonals, is that wave 1 and wave 4 have to intersect with each other. And this is the only exception in wave theory in diagonals, is that wave 1 and wave 4 have to intersect with each other. So you have a clear diagonal here, and then you get your ABC breakdown, and you get your A, I'll put corrective waves in red. You have your A, B, C. So if you refer to my structure above, this corrective wave will form a wave 2 of a larger degree. So far we have completed 2 puzzle pieces from a fractal point. So we completed a wave 1. Here's a wave 2, and now we go all the way up for the next wave. So now we have our wave 1 and wave 2. So now from here, we have to count further waves up. So from here, you have your wave 1, your wave 2, and then we have our wave 3, which is undoubtedly not the shortest wave, but it's not the longer, or sorry, which is not the shortest wave, but it's not the longest wave in this particular scenario. This wave went 24 points, but wave 1 only went 9 points. So from here you have to do a subwave count, because remember, impulses break down into 5 waves, corrective waves break down into 3 waves most of the time. So here we have to do another 5-wave count up here.